Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the StarLadder minor qualifiers for the CIS region. We have got ourselves Team Spirit taking on Extremum in a best of 3 to open things up. And it's been an absolute stellar performance from Extremum, I have to say, because coming into this, I actually predicted Team Spirit to walk away with a very quick 2-0. When I seen the scoreline, when I looked at Vertigo, it was 12-3. So I was expecting it to be going according to prediction, but in fact, it is quite the opposite, and we'll find ourselves in a bit of a scary position for Team Spirit as they're on to the last map. They do pick up Mirage, but Vertigo did not go their way. So we're 1-1 in the series. Team Spirit a little better there on the second map. They end up closing out 16-10. And here on Train, this is where things reach their climax. The final map of the series. Will it be Extremum walking away with an upset, or Team Spirit managed to pull off the win? Maybe the push coming through towards Ivy. It's going to be Talker with the initial kill. And Coldy's going to be here with the USP. Vitosh hits the floor. And it's into a 4v4 immediately here. At this point, it looks like Extreme wanted to give up the Ivy control that they had and actually head their way back over towards A. Currently, Team Spirit have got 3 players positioned here. One a little bit more passive, playing inside of the B-bomb site, just outside of the connector towards the back lines. But Extremium are going to go in towards the A side of the map. Waterfall's leading the charge on through. Switches out the Glock for the USP, and it's slightly better at long range. He'll take away Coldy, and there's a Glock getting the kill at long range as well. Saltfic hits the floor. Extremium look to pull off the pistol win. As now the bomb does get planted. Chopper looking back inside of the site. Gets the headshot onto Talker. And it will be Archie finding the trade. It's all on Chopper. Finished off. Job done. 1-0 for Extremium. And this is a good start coming into the final map of the series. So 1-0 start for Extremum. Over the MAC-10s coming through immediately here. Team Spirit going for the investment. It is going to be the double scout setup on Idis Balance and Coldy, with the MP9 and the 5.7s being picked up alongside the likes of the Scouts. And it will be Talker picking up the kill with the MAC-10. Saltfic and Chopper throw a bit of a curveball as they get aggressive. And they've got the man advantage. Suddenly the CTs, they actually got something to play with here. As Coldy will get a kill on the Scout. Trades coming through from Archie and Waterfalls. Trying to deny the bomb plant. Coldy will do so. And now it's a 1v1. Both relatively the same HP. 27 on Archie, 29 on Chopper. One with the MAC-10, one with an MP9. Chopper goes towards Heaven. Archie doesn't have the bomb and is going to go for the long play around B. He wants to go through the Pop Dog and try and relocate from there. But Chopper's playing this one well. I mean, he's just sitting up inside of Heaven. You know, he's not really committing to one side of the map. He's just going to sit up in Heaven, wait for them to come in towards his crosshair to try and recover that bomb, and he should have the vantage point. He should spot them from afar, and should realistically get the first kill off. And Archie's actually gone through for the full B rotation. He's going to try and come in through connector. This play would be smart, but with Chopper being up in Heaven, it kind of cancels out the success of it. Unless Archie somehow slithers his way sneakily up the ladder, because that could definitely work if he gets up there. And let's see if he does get his way up there, because he's going to go into the open. Chopper just holding. He'll spot if someone comes up the ladder. He's also watching Green Train. And actually Archie just slithered onto the side. He's got the bomb. Going to be looking up towards Heaven. He's made the right call, and Chopper, his head comes off. It's 2-0 for Extremum, and Archie pulls off the clutch. I don't know why he didn't go for the bomb plant there as well towards the end, but at least he pulls off the clutch win. An extra bomb plant there would have been actually pretty nice for Extremum, especially since that one came so close. Luckily, there's not going to be too much money in the banks of Team Spirit, so this should be around where those MAC-10s can find that extra cash against the USPs. But Chopper played that one well, just sat in Heaven. Unluckily, just didn't quite get the kill, and sometimes that's the way it goes. So Extremum sending most of their players immediately towards Ivy. They want to start a fight here. no one really challenging them. It's going to be that 5-man stack. We love to see the pyramid, the USP pyramid towards CT. Luckily for Extremum, they have not yet committed. And, you know, you do see a couple of kills come from this every now and then, of course. It's good for a couple of frags, but the pyramid should be dropped. And there's the Mac 10, finding a lot of easy kills. That's 2 for virtus. Archie able to get 1 as well. Waterfalls will finish off Some Die Young. Inside his balance. India's clutch. He will get 1 on the Deagle. Well, he actually would have spun around there and might have found Archie, but unfortunately, he will not. Archie will pick him up. There's going to be a 3-0 start here for Extremum. Good stuff coming in the train. Especially on the T side. You know, we look at the train here and we talk about the T side being one of the more difficult halves within Counter-Strike. And it definitely is. And finding a 3-0 start like this from Extremum is going to be brilliant for them moving forward. They're going to be so confident, so happy with this. And they can just keep this on board. Team Spirit, they have got the double up setup. It's going to be iDisbalance and Coldie wielding those. One can be a little bit more aggressive, one a bit more passive. Allows for 2 different playstyles to come in across that board. Each one will go down as talker. You'll extend over the top of the ramp. Will be Some Die Young looking over the top of the smoke. Waterfalls will be finished off. And the man advantage is on the CT side. Team Spirit, they haven't been able to grab that just yet. But with the gauntlet well and truly being thrown down, this is the challenge. They've got the rifles. Sotfik lines up 2. And they both fall to the floor. It's Coldie getting himself the kill towards Ivy. Archie, he will drop, and now it's on virtus. In a 1v5, I've seen easier clutches than this, that's for sure. As he will just sit outside of Ivy. No real need here at this point for Team Spirit to really even go near him, so there should be another one on the board for them, or the first on the board of trade. But Extremum just need to stay positive, you know. Found 3 already, that's a good foundation. If you can get a couple more, I'd say 5. Obviously, they want to get a little bit more than that on. iDisbalance is just going to take the kill through the smoke. Alright then. Good stuff from him. And that'll be another one for Team Spirit. I can just predict what the chat are currently going to say about that shot from iDisbalance. Well, Extremum are going to be sending a couple of their players up towards B. They have 1 player close inside of the site, and that's Chopper. He really is the only player close enough to do anything of real value. They also have iDisbalance. He's rotated in from Connector. They've made the right call to come over towards this side of the map. Extremum, this should not really be a round where they get too much done or hope to get too much done, but the bomb has come over. They somehow get that plant, that's the job done, but Airscape is going to fall towards upper. Kill from Chopper comes in as well as Talker will fall away. And a nice shot again from iDisbalance as he looks back for a little bit more. Bomb plant actually coming through, and it's denied by Chopper in the final few seconds. An easy cleanup, all 5 players stay alive, and a good hold on the B bomb site. 3-2. Extremum coming straight away with a purchase here. This isn't exactly the greatest buy. They got a bomb plant, it would have been more fleshed out. They would have had more assets to work with in terms of utility. They would have had better rifles, and pretty much everyone probably could have afforded an AK-47. But obviously, unfortunately, they didn't get that bomb plant, and so they're going to have to buy into this one with UMP, a Mac-10, 2 AK-47s, and an AWP in the hands of Waterfalls. So at this point, Team Spirit should have an easy field day yet again, but it's Some Die Young picking up the kill. The trade is in from Talker, and he actually goes towards the top of the ladder yet again to stay alive. Waterfalls wanted to try and test the water towards the A bomb site, but has been forced away from Team M. And so currently Team Spirit have won the initial battles. They've got the man advantage. Well, they had the man advantage, but it's been pulled back twice now as Waterfalls will pull the man advantage in for Extremum. They got the opening pick from Some Die Young. The trade was there. Team Spirit control most of the map, but Waterfalls has changed that. That kill towards Ivy turns things around completely. Extremum have an avenue in towards the A bomb site and towards B if they win the fight against iDisbalance, but it will not happen. iDisbalance finds the trade kill back into the 3v3. They hold on. Chopper's locked inside the bomb site itself. With Extremum having multiple players towards Ivy, this is really their only option to go through here, and the problem is Team Spirit know this. They've rotated perfectly. Sotfik's going to take a hell of a lot of damage in the back. He's dropped the 12 HP. And Waterfalls is going to hold from far. Chopper on the bomb site, still not really moving. He doesn't really need to. He can just hold here with the rest of them come into his crosshair, and that's going to be a big kill. Vitosh finished off as he tries to transition towards blue train. But the pressure now building, the chances of Extremum to win this one are slipping through their fingers as Team Spirit look to try and equalize the scoreline. Waterfalls is there with a kill. Zotwick falls, and it's going to be a 2v2. Waterfalls looks back into the site. Chopper fine eventually. It's all on the Idis bounce. He does get one, trying to deny this. Into the 1 versus 1. And he'll pull it off as Idis bounce gets the triple kill. It's 3-3 on the board. That was almost the right way there for Extremum. I definitely thought that would have been over a little bit sooner, but they managed to pull it off, and Team Spirit, or nearly pull it off, should I say, but Team Spirit managed to get it over the line. Idis bounce get a lot stronger here, and I did say it's an op-centric map, and look at that, 9-3 on Idis balance. Waterfalls is having a quieter performance than Idis balance, but still up there on 6 kills. And I was kind of looking forward to that battle between Waterfalls and Idis balance, but if Extremum don't get the money into their bikes, that's when there is going to be a lot of problems. You know, you're not going to get to see the AWP battle come through because you're not going to be able to afford the AWP, but as I say that, Idis balance has been finished off early. And something that Team Spirit definitely have in their back pocket is the double op setup potential between Coldy and Idis balance. You know, Coldy can be a bit of a quiet player sometimes. He be a bit hit and miss, but when he steps up, he's one of the players that can take you over the line on this Team Spirit side. Some Young also has that problem as well. You know, if he's playing well, he can go nuclear and carry you through games, but if not, then that's when he can be a little bit quiet, and you kind of start to ask questions about him. But it's going to be Chopper taking the kill onto Airskip as the push coming in towards the B-bomb site. It's Chopper with 2 kills on the AUG. Archie and Talker left into a 2v3 as Coldy rotates on in. The AWP will deny the bomb plant access, and Talker has tried to replace his teammate with the AWP. Nice flick to the right, looks back towards connector with his player sitting there. And Talker, yeah, has got a chance. 30 seconds. Coldy holds the angle. That should be the kill, and there it is. It's collected. It's the lead for Team Spirit. Now we have to hold on to it. Well, holding the angle towards B as Idis bounce. They walk right into his crosshair. He'll be able to pick that one up relatively easily, and the man advantage into a crucially important round is Team Spirit's. That'll definitely lift the spirit on the team. Extremum, I've got 3 players. And it's going to be off towards Ivy. Waterfalls looking up towards the site. There's the kill onto Sotfik, and now this is looking likely some Young might be able to get something done as they start to come in towards his crosshair. Line up 1, that's the bomb hitting the floor. 3 versus 3, 40 seconds left. Idis balance is going to be sitting here, but Chopper is the only player required as Idis balance looks back towards main, able to pick up Vitosh, and now Waterfalls is alone, and the CT side have dominated this one yet again. It's going to be 5-3, and Extrem, they didn't really look like they had a chance into that one, I'm afraid. You know, they get a couple of kills, but they never really found too much ground. I think it was mainly just the kills coming in on the CT side. They looked a lot better, a lot more comfortable holding on. And so, maybe the double up setup on the CT side. Over on Extremum, it's a bit of a questionable one here. Do they want to go for a little bit of a half buy? They've actually decided to go for it very late. And it's only a couple of players doing it. As soon as I say that, another one buys up. So it's a deco here with Kevlar. So it's kind of like a bonus. It's a half buy basically. There's not much utility though. Ice Bounce is going to hold the bottom of the ramp and able to pick up that early kill yet again, as Sumdai Young will get one through, and it's been a relatively simple hold again here from Team Spirit. Extremum will send 3 players off towards B, and currently Idis Balance is the man holding here, and this could be an easy pickup for him. He will hit the shot, but it's not the kill. Second time of asking, will get the frag. He'll look back for another one as well, and there it is. On the Archie, 1v5. Over a minute left on the clock to play with, but again, I don't think he'll need it. I think Idis Balance is hungry for the quad kill, and he'll collect it. He will just maul them to pieces, and this is much better from him. He was missing on Vertigo, probably a big reason as to why they ended up losing that map in the first place. A lot of missed shots, a lot of missed opportunities. And 110 comes up, it's going to be the AK-47s for Extremum. AWP picked up for Waterfalls. At least he has something to sort of throw into the mix, a bit of a challenge up against Team Spirit, who currently have the double op setup played through. They've got an AUG as well, and this is probably one of the strongest sort of maps for the AUG meta, right? Because it's got such a long range and linear angles, a lot of them, and that's why, you know, this map is so op-centric, and also the AUG can be an absolute brutal weapon to play against if you're on the T side. It's so difficult to get rid of them all. Well, round number 10. It is a slow one. It's a slow burner. And sometimes slow burners produce the most energy. They definitely make the best meat. If we are making a steak to slow cook it. Makes it nice and succulent. There goes Talker. It is going to be a kill on the Sophic. Sumdai going to fall as well. And it will be Coldy stepping up with an AWP kill onto Talker. As Vitosh able to finish off Coldy. It's a 2-man advantage for the T side. And it's looking a little better for them. As Waterfalls just finds Chopper walking through the smoke. And it's not all on Idis Balance in 1v4. AWP scoped in. Kill on the Archie. And it's going to be Vitosh, probably the next victim of this AWP. Scary thing is, Idis Balance actually has a chance to win this. You can never really count him out. I remember a couple of months ago when they were doing the Omen Challenge with Henry G, Team UK, you know, Sponge's team within Australia. I think Team Russia or something, you know, Team CIS turned up with Idis Balance and a bunch of Russian aim stars. And Team UK had like an observer and a couple of amateur players or something. Pretty funny. Idis Balance is definitely a great player. And every single player on Team Spirit has a scope to work with coming into this one. Over on Extremum, it's going to be the AWP from Waterfalls. The AKs are there as well. This can end up being a relatively easy cleanup for Team Spirit, honestly. If they can keep this up, it's looking pretty good. We have got another few best of threes coming up later on today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of exciting matches coming through. I believe Gambit Youngsters are up next, and that should be a fun one to cast because they're a team that has started to impress me. Extremum have impressed me as well, as they've got the B bomb site. I've just walked in and got that bomb plant relatively simply, and they have got the man advantage still, not lost it. They're just waiting here, Team Spirit, until every piece of the puzzle is in the right position, and that is going to be Idis Balance starting the fight back in towards the bomb site. Gets one in the AWP. Sophic finished off, but Coldy's there. But Vitosh, he is the linchpin in this for the T side, flanking him behind. Multiple players in front of him. There's the headshot as he takes it on the Idis Balance, looking back towards the site as Sumdai trying to get in towards the bomb. It's all on Coldy. He's got to fall away, and it will be a round win for here for Extremum. They managed to pull it off. And that will be 6-5. Well, there goes Tolka starting things off well for the T side. Perhaps they're starting to build up a little bit more confidence, a bit more momentum for themselves. And that is a scary sign for Team Spirit. You don't want to let your opponent start to feel confident, especially since we've seen Extremum pull things back when they had momentum on Vertigo and nearly managed to pull it back on Mirage as well. And it wasn't really a comeback on Mirage, it was more of a close battle really on that map, wasn't it? First half was very close, a little bit flat in the second though. This is already a good T side from Extremum. Anything more than 5, I think you're gonna be pretty happy about that, right? You know, we've already discussed why it's one of the most difficult maps, difficult sides in Counter-Strike, and they're doing a very good job at making this competitive. So I'd say they should be feeling pretty confident about themselves, honestly. Bomb's gonna get planted here from Airscape on the site. At this point, Team Spirit saving on over towards the B bomb site. Want to make sure they have weapons moving into the next, because this retake is probably going to be a brutal one. And Extreme will take themselves 6. So 6 apiece here on the board. Even yet again, and Extremum, like I said, they'll be very happy about picking up 6 already on the T side. Obviously want to get a little bit more if possible, and I mean, it probably is possible that they are able to pull this off, because it has been a very nice and close affair. And there the bomb plant goes. It'll go off, and it'll be 6-6. This is where we have to see a bit of a step up in performance from the boys. Over on Team Spirit, they cannot allow this one to just fall flat and then really have no say whatsoever, because if that ends up happening, that's going to be very disappointing. Team Spirit, I've said time and time again how much of a shock this really is to me. Because we all predicted, oh, Team Spirit, they should come into this one. This should be a relatively easy pickup for them. 2-0. We'll move on to the next best of 3. Gambit Youngsters, that one. A bit more of a competitive game. But nope, this one is absolutely anything but one-sided. It's been close the entire game. A double overtime first map in the series. The second, a relatively close affair in the first half. Ending up at a 16-10. And here on trim we are again even. 6-6. Very slow approach from the T side. Wanting to make sure everything is in position, every piece of the puzzle is in the correct place. And finally, it will be trade after trade. It's 4v4. The push coming in towards the A bomb site. 35 seconds left. Sam Young able to find that kill. Coldy will pick up one as well. Alongside Saltfik, who's got questions for Vitosh. Why are you doing that? Easy kill. And that Talker's into a 1v4. And Coldy will hold the cross. He'll hit the shot as well, but it's not the frag. The second time of asking will be, though. And that will be the lead being taken by Team Spirit. They need to get as many rounds as possible on this CT half, because at this point, already, Extremum are happy with the result. You know, 6 on the T side on train. We've talked at length about why that's good and why they're happy with that. So it's more so, at this point, on Team Spirit. Are they happy? Probably not at this point. Probably want a little bit more. In a position to make sure that they get that. All rattling off. It will be the early kill from Chopper. An advantage picked up here for the CT side. Extremum have been out of it in the last 2. That's slowing the pace a little bit too much in the last one. And this one struggling slightly. Well sending multiple players from Extremum up towards the apartments. The Brighton halls. And They'll start to try and clear towards B. Now we've currently got 2 players here on the B bomb site itself here, Team Spirit. And one a little bit closer inside of the connector who can rotate pretty easily and very quickly in from connector back in towards the bomb site. And so the push is starting to come through. There's the headshot from Airskip. That'll open up that site. Now there is a chance as Waterfalls holds the rotation. iDisbalance could walk right into the crosshair of Waterfalls, who's just waiting for this. Just waiting for a kill to come his way. And it's not happening just yet. It will be Waterfalls holding that cross. There is the pickup. Samdayung, he will fall eventually. Coldy will fall as well. And Waterfalls, it's just a shooting gallery for him at the moment. It's Sophic and iDisbalance into a 2v4. And I think at this point they realize they've got to give up the ghost. No chance of winning this one. And it will be Extremum again, finding 7. This is already confirmed to be a closest half possible. It's going to be 8-7 at the half for one of these teams. That'll be a 1-run lead, but that's not a whole lot. Team Spirit would love to have had a slight bit of a buffer moving into the second half, but they might end up going into it with a run deficit. The T side has been strong though all day. The T sides have been strong. I think it's been a CT setup has been relatively bad for both teams. So, I mean, Extremum posting 8 here on the T side of Trim would be excellent. Well, round number 15. Molotov goes in towards teammate and Samdayung looking for the early pick like he's got time and time again, but it's again very similar. Samdayung gets that early kill, Talker drops and trades, falls back up the ladder, and it's a system that Extremum have been playing. Solvik has been able to trade it again, he's got the advantage this time. Waterfalls is going to be sitting back in towards main, able to pick up the kill onto Solvik. There'll be 1 HP left on Waterfalls, so he'll have to run away, pick up the bomb, and head his merry way back up towards the brown holes. The ball will be tossed back onto the player in behind him. And at this point, Chopper's got so much information from this push in towards main. He gets so much info from this, no one is there. And so iDisbalance can play aggressive and be holes and actually get himself that kill. The man advantage yet again there for Team Spirit. Waterfall's barely alive on 1 HP. He's up towards the brown holes as well. Now I've got 2 players inside of the B bomb site. Team Spirit have made the right call on which side to stack, all based off the info that no one is on A. Cody can just hold the long range angle and he'll pick it up as well. Waterfalls finished off. Now Vitosh, the last man standing, they know exactly where he is as well. And he does do damage across the B bomb site, but Cody will finish him off and the half will end in favour of Team Spirit. What a performance from iDisbalance, 20-7, but it's been a quiet performance from Samdayung and Sophic that has resulted in this game being rather close. Chopper, he's had a quiet game as well in all respects, but iDisbalance has been head and shoulders above his teammates. Been a much more consistent team play across Extremum, a lot less disparity from the top and the bottom. And a pause does come through by Sophic, so Team Spirit need to call a pause in. They want to make sure everybody's on the right page coming into this. I don't know if this is a technical or a tactical though, they didn't quite say. But due to there not being a timer, I'm assuming it will be a technical difficulty. I think if you have a tactical pause, you have to call it through the menu. And if it's a technical pause, you have to call it through the chat. I think that's usually how it goes. So hopefully it's not too much of an issue. We can get back into the game very quickly if it is a technical problem. If it's just a tactical pause, well, we'll be back into things very, very shortly indeed. So, if you're interested, if you're just kind of watching these games for the first time, because I'm sure there is quite a lot of new viewers and stuff, it kind of shocked due to the whole free-to-play stuff now. A player to watch on this server, I would say, probably would be, at the minute, if you're interested in being an AWPer, perhaps iDisbalance, because he does rotate very well and he has a very good playstyle. Although Waterfalls is also an interesting player to watch, but there are two Choppers, so I have to pick some sort of rifle as well. I think I'm actually a fan of how Chopper plays. You know, he's got that whole ex-Vega Squadron aggression sort of thing going on. So he's a fun player to watch. The way he gets so much information from his team based off, you know, proactiveness and some aggression. So he's a fun player to watch as well. But I think Chopper's probably the player to watch for me. I think I like his playstyle, so I'll give it to him. Anyway, 8-7. Here's the score at the half. A very close affair between the two teams. They're going to have to try and step it up as they come into the pistol. It's going to be a great start here for the CT side. It's pretty much a massacre. Team Spirit have been halted off. The Molotov burns away. And that'll be into a 3v2. Talker coming back in from connector, trying to rattle shots through the smoke. Trying to get lucky. But he cannot find it. And so damage being received and dealt. There it is. Headshot from the CT side. Last man standing. It is Chopper. He will get himself the headshot onto Talker. It's into a 1v2. Waterfall sitting back off towards Pop Dog. He wants to get his way out here and wants to take a couple of fights, but he's going to have to hide and hang back inside of Pop Dog and not show a whole lot, I'm afraid. Archie is going to be here on the stop sign. USP in hand. He'll look down the barrel, and there's the headshot. Chopper finished off. Job done. And it'll be collected 8-8. Well, a nade goes on up towards the top of the ramp. Molotov will land there as well. Multiple players starting to spring into action as they run out of the upper brawn holes. It will be finished off, and a cleanup comes through from Extremum. It will be an easy one as well. One round in the lead on the CT side. Extremum, if they get off to a good start, we've seen what they can do based on momentum. They can definitely turn this one into a great storyline for themselves. Coming into this match, not really expected to get too much done. You know, a team I thought was going to be a 2-0, but nope, they have turned up. They won Vertigo. They had a close affair on Mirage and now in the lead on the final map of the series, Train. What a story this has been. They start to make their way through. Ivy, aggression coming through, showing that they're not scared. They're playing their game as well. That's a good sign moving forward. They try to get a couple of shots off and they do significant damage, but results in them falling back away. And that'll be a good kill from Saltfix. So, man advantage is picked up for Spirit, but it's traded back again from the upper B push of Archie. Be a kill for Vittosh, although again is traded by Coldy. This is very back and forth. Trades coming through across the board. And it's good to see, so good quality trading coming through as Chopper will pick up Waterfalls. It's into a 2v3, the man advantage is on the T side. Is this going to be Archie there with a headshot? Coldy going to hit the deck, as expected. And the bomb will be safely on the floor. So they're going to have to run around and pick that up again. Sotfik will be the man to collect it. And it'll be Chopper already on the A-bomb site. He's got himself the kill on the Archie. Last man alive is Talker, 1v2. With the MP9, 35 seconds left. He has to pull this one off. When things were looking good for them, I was kind of talking about how they could really start to build up quite a few rounds for themselves. Team Spirit just walk into this and end up taking this one pretty solid. Then we'll be Talker with the kill. Sotfik finished off, and now it's a 1v1. Grenade will land at the feet of Chopper. He will speak up. There's the kill. Talker hits the floor. It's 9-9. Even yet again. This game, nothing separating the two teams. I have a feeling this could probably be the closest game of the day. When you take a look at the rest of the best of threes coming up, we've got Gambit Youngsters up next. That should be a fun one. Looking forward to seeing what they can get done with Axel actually added to the roster. Officially. There'll be Gambit youngsters taking on Warthogs. Schedule has gone off by 1 hour because of this series. Kind of crazy how long this one has been. To remember, it was a double overtime on the first map. Chopper or rattle. Shots. No kill to come through just yet. Multiple players peek in towards Ivy, where Vitosh is currently waiting with his rifle. That nade does actually quite a bit of damage on the two players. Vitosh and Waterfalls are going to... Vitosh, should I say. Airskip are going to take quite a bit of that on board. Minus Bounce, very low HP. Lucky to be alive himself, and he's such an impactful player. You want to keep him alive as long as possible. You want to make sure he has as much impact as possible across the round. And we'll be round number 19 looking... Well, it's going to be a stalemate right up until the final execute, and that is coming in right now. Team Spirit straight in towards the A bomb site. Utility being tossed, smokes, flashes, molotovs, all there. As now it's on to Waterfalls to try and see what he can get done. Spots the feet. Can he get the kill? You better believe he can, as it's on to Sopvik. He will be finished off, and it's a man advantage for Extremum. The bomb not yet planted. Big low HP player. That's a big play for Vitosh as he gets 2 kills. It's back into a 5v2, and Extremum will hit double figures. Team Spirit surely do not pull this off with 17 seconds left. A 2 versus 5 would be heroic. There's a Sum Young to pick up the headshot towards Archie. Although well played from Extremum, not giving away anything, but the bomb has been planted. Coldy, he's got one as well. It's into a 1v2. He's into the 1 versus 2, but it will not happen. Talker comes in from Connector, and out of nowhere, they actually nearly make that happen there, Team Spirit. Luckily, Extremum do sweep it up in the end, but that was getting pretty scary, I have to say. Sure, their heart rates raised quite a bit there on the Extremum side. The final match of the day will be Dream Eaters taking on Unique. Now that's going to be an interesting one for a couple of reasons. Obviously, I've casted a lot of both of these teams, and I think Dream Eaters have been playing relatively well recently, so that's going to probably be a 3-mapper. There will be a couple of shots being done already from the CT side. Dispatching with the pistols here of the T side. The Waterfalls, getting it done, making it look easy. Like Holdy, last man alive, 1v3 with a Deagle. Can't we really expect too much from him? Well, rip Coldy. He'll get his head torn off. Well, this is probably one of the most important rounds. It's going to be AKs for Team Spirit, or a much more important round than we've seen in recent time at least. They're going to have plenty of utility over on the CT side, not so much on the T side, as Coldy is going to start to make his way in now. It is going to be the headshot onto Airskip. The execute is successful. They get it done. They've got some utility left for the post plant, and it is going to be a man advantage for the T side. It might be extended upon as well, as Coldy looks over the top of the green train and does find himself a kill onto Waterfalls. Now it's a 2-man advantage for the T side. And Extremum, their money's not in a great place. Perhaps it's just a safe call. They're going to fall away. It is going to be a kill from Sum Young, and it's going to be a 2v5. Easy clean up there from Team Spirit, executing towards the A bomb site. It's executed perfectly. They get all the kills necessary, and it will be their 10th. This has been an absolute blockbuster of a game. I knew Train was going to be close based off what we've seen in the first 2 maps, and it has not failed to deliver. It has been a close affair between the 2 teams. Extremum, they probably starting to sweat a little bit more now, I would say. It's Team Spirit, they have been quiet, but if they start to wake up a little bit, perhaps that's when it gets untouchable for Extremum. You know, Saltfig has been such a quiet player in this game. 6 kills, 15 deaths, not a great performance by any means. Young has been super quiet across the series, 11 kills and 13 deaths on Train. iDisbalance has woken up, he started to wake up towards the end of Vertigo and has been lights out since then. Currently topping the scoreboard still with 21 kills, but again, he's kind of starting to go a little bit quiet as well himself, so let's see if the rest of the guys here on Team Spirit can step it up, and that's a good opening from Young. Man advantage for the T side. A crucially important round as well, because the CTs now have got to buy into this, but if they end up losing this one, not going to be too much cash left over to get a buy into the next round. So this is where you can really start to build up a couple of rounds for yourself here, Team Spirit, because you can get right back into this game. You might actually take the lead after this. This one is for equalization. The next one going to be up against a weak buy, maybe even an eco or a half buy, and you can get yourself over the line to take yourself into the lead again. And at that point, that's where you have to really keep a consistent level up. Make sure that you take this one over the line. You take the series and you move on with a win under your belt. But this looks good here. Young is going to start to make his way on through. It's going to be a kill from him and Coldy. And it's not only on Vitosh into a 1 versus 4 to try and pull it off with a FAMAS and 45 HP. He's been spotted at long range. He gets the 1 kill before falling, and it is 11 to 11. It's going to be round number 23 coming up, and a pause has come through. Archie to call it. It's definitely needed here from Extremum. They have not looked in the game in the last couple of rounds, that's for sure. Cannot allow Team Spirit to build up any momentum, any confidence, as they will start to really roll over you. This should be a round where they head into the lead as well. So pause, still here, still in play. Only 5 rounds needed for both teams. And that could end up being 10, couldn't it? Should I say 4 each? Then we go to overtime. It's definitely a possibility between these 2 teams. The way it's been going, it's been so back and forth, so difficult to call. Now only 5 away from 16. Team Spirit are in the driver's seat currently. They've been jostling for a position, and they've been fighting for the lead for quite some time. There goes Goldie on the opening. It's going to be Escape falling early. Talker able to fall as well, but the pistol does get 1 kill. Shouldn't really be too much. And a collateral from iDisbalance to finish off the round. Easily cleaned up. 12-11. And only 4 away from victory. That's definitely a way to close it out, isn't it? From iDisbalance. Spots 2 players lined up in the E-box. I knew it was coming. I think it's the second in the series so far. I think he's had he got a collat on Mirage, and now he's got a collat on Trin. Yes, against the pistols, and generally they will clump up a little bit more. But a relatively easy round there for Team Spirit, but this one becomes a bit more difficult on paper. This is where things start to turn around. This is where a buy comes in from Extremum, but early damage being done by Spirit onto Airscape. He's been dropped to 50 HP. Multiple players here. This is the setup currently for Extremum on the CT side. It's 3 players in the bomb side itself. 1 further back towards CT or old bomb. A very passive setup from Talker, and he's actually only using an MP9 towards the back of B. Luckily, Team Spirit seem to want to go in towards the A bomb site, and Extremum have made the right call to stack most of their troops over here and put the stack of players here. But there will be an opening kill from Chopper that will start to dilute this defense. And there's another one. I just balance looks for both. That is perfect. I just balance gets 2 kills, and that was Vitosh and Talker left alone into a 2 versus 5. They start to make their way in towards the A bomb site. Vitosh is here, but he's not here for much longer as Coldy will take his head off his shoulder, and Talker, last man alive, MP9 versus 5. I've seen impossible things pulled off, but this is just on another level. He will get dropped as he runs back over towards CT. Grenade at the ready to try and bounce off the wall, and that doesn't quite reach his position. He's gone unevaded. He will find the head of Sum Da Young. Doing quite a bit of damage here, actually, but they want to get this rifle out of his hand. It means more to them to get it out of his hands than it does to save theirs. So, in this one, Extremum, not too much brought into this. Not too much at all. It's not like they had much of an option. They're going to have to leave enough money, enough residual cash to move into the next one for a goodbye. In this one, it's not looking too great. Should be Team Spirit to take this one over the line. Should be 14-11. Puts them 2 away from taking the series. And if they do take the series, they'll be happy they've won it. They'll also be a little bit disappointed in themselves, I'm sure. Someone who will not be disappointed in themselves is Extremum. They played extremely well, and they have done the damage, and they've got the advantage into this one. Vitosh, man advantage picked up, coming into the round, looking for the second as well, but Linus Balance will do a good job at trading that back and making sure the Team Spirit get themselves off to a decent little start here. There's a kill from Chopper. Irish gave about the fall. Chopper gets another. That's Archie gone. And on Waterfalls and Talker left into a 2v4. Linus Balance to pick up that kill. And now Talker alone is left into a 1 versus 4. 38 seconds on the clock. What does Talker want to bring to the table here? Probably a whole lot, but he can't bring that, I'm afraid. And so it'll be 14-11. He's left alone on the B-bomb site. He's got Kevlar, so saving that is not exactly the worst outcome. Money on the CT side will be relatively okay. And because Talker does have a little less cash in the bank than the rest of his teammates, saving the Kevlar would not be a bad plan, because he can move into that next round, right? And he'll have enough to get a rifle. If he had to buy Kevlar alongside it, probably not be able to get that rifle and a little bit of extra utility. So, not bad here. It is going to be looking much better here for Team Spirit. I think the big part that we have to talk about is kind of what we've been banging on about all day, really. It's just, you know, they've had one player out of balance playing well across 2 maps, but really has been quiet on a lot of others. The thing is, it's been Chopper stepping up, Sum Da Young's had his runs, Coldy's been there. So a lot more of a team effort coming in from Team Spirit, and that's very important. Saltfic, yes, has had an extremely quiet game, still only on 7 kills, and I'm sure he's not going to be too happy with his own performance. But, I mean, as long as he fulfills his role in the team, he throws his utility, he throws his flash, that's all that's needed. You wouldn't be able to win this game 4v5. 27 kills and now just balanced 23, and Coldy's definitely started to step up. Chopper's there as well on 19, and Sum Da Young has had his runs, but again, exactly at the level we would want him, and I mean, that's probably a big part as to why Team Spirit have had to fight so hard. But I just bounce off to another great start, looking to try and take map point. An advantage there to work with. And it'll be the T side with the extra man. Smoke goes out, flash goes out. It's going to be a Team Spirit hit in towards the B-bomb site. Watch the troops gather here. It's going to be Waterfalls with a pickup on the Coldy. Archie able to get himself that one as well, but it's going to be Waterfalls. Good hold here from the CT side as Waterfalls gets a triple. 2 from Archie. And Team Spirit are dispatched with good rotation from Extremum, good hold on the B-bomb site, and they are still in this game. A good start into it from Idis Ballads, but really after that, nothing else was found. And that is much, much better here from Extremum on their CT side. They need to find those fights. They need to win those engagements, and they've done it pretty successfully in that one. Just walk into the brick wall, Team Spirit. Brick open those windows. A lot of teams in the CIS region I've seen, you know, a lot of teams, as windows are broken, you'll have a bombardment of spray going through the wall, just spamming away, trying to get some kills, but not this time. Flashbang goes around the corner. Distaunch starts to make his way back through. Going to be a flashbang going out towards the site. Ivy looks to be the area that Team Spirit want to put pressure on, want to take. One player on the other end of it, just waiting there, waiting passively, waiting for someone to come into his crosshair, but it's not going to happen just yet. It's actually Team Spirit toss a little bit of utility to try and show they have presence there, leave it open completely, and then go back over towards A with a heavy stack through main. And perhaps even Pop Dog, because multiple players starting to come through. They've got to find these fights. They've got to win these engagements. And there's Waterfalls on the initial kill. Archie on the double up setup, making it happen. Airskip spots one player trying to get up towards the top of the ladder, and that's Saltfik. Oh, it's all on Idis Bounce to Sum Young into a 1v4 now. Sum Young has to pull it off, has to step up. He's had a quiet series. This would be the time to do it, but there's no time to do it, and that's the problem. He's gone up towards the Brawn Halls and he's had to save. There'll be another on the board for Extremum. This one is going the distance, most likely. The money is still good on Team Spirit. Their cash is expendable, but the problem is there comes a point when Extremum will eventually just keep chipping away at it and it will go away. Perhaps in the next round or the one after, because at this point Extremum look like they are in a prime position in terms of momentum. Maybe equalize the scoreline yet again. Drop it in. Sum Young able to get the opening kill on the airskip. Man advantage, first blood drawn, and they start to move in towards A. This is much better from Team Spirit, effectively finding the kills. Vitosh has got himself one for the CT side, keeping it within touching distance as Waterfalls is there as well. What is Talker doing? He's walked through a smoke. Sum Young will take that one. That's for free. And he's flashed away towards Pop Dog. He'll get away with his life. Waterfalls needs to pull it back, make up for the mistakes of his teammates, and he's done it effectively as well. He'll pick it up, and Archie's there. It's all under the ult battle. Idis Balance versus 2 Ulpras. Can he do it? He's got an ult of his own. He's been lights out on trade. The bomb is in the middle of the bomb site itself. He will pick it up. Scope gives away his position. Archie is there. He could maybe pick this up, spots the backside, able to drop him, and it's 14-14. How have they pulled that off? Waterfalls on the site does an excellent job. Archie as well helping him, and they have been a dynamic duo, 23 kills apiece. Really carrying the success of Extremum on their back. And now it's only one round till that point. Overtime is a real possibility between these two teams. It's actually being an absolute bloodbath of a game. So close. And if you are a Spirit fan, you should definitely be sweating at this point, because this has been an absolute monstrous series between these two teams. And it's not over yet today. We have some more Counter-Strike coming up as well later. Pause is in. I hope it's not a technical pause. Been a little longer than I would expect the technical pause to be ready, but they are ready, it seems, and they are ready to get into the action yet again. This is the precipice. This is the swing round. This is the round that will put one of these teams up the map point. Spirit lose this, there's no money in the bank. Same can be said for Extremum. This round has everything on it. Only 7 kills in 29 runs from Saltfake. It's definitely been a quiet game for him. virtus hasn't really done too much either. You know, Airscape's only on 10 kills. 3 more than that. They definitely relied a little bit more on the individuals across their roster to step them up over this line. But here we go. This could be it. 3 players stand on the A-bomb site for the CT side. 2 inside of B. Extremum. They're going to start to make their way through the brown holes. Or should I say, the Team Spirit will start to make their way through the brown holes. Coming in towards the B-bomb site. Extreme will have multiple players here on the B-bomb site waiting for this push to come in from Team Spirit. They haven't thrown too much utility on the A. They haven't really tested anywhere else. They're going to have to really commit in towards this B site for the final execute. Everything coming in. Straight in towards B they will go. They either hit map point or they fall to map point. As Extremum can pull off the upset straight away here in the CIS closed qualifiers for the minor. It's going to be an initial kill for Chopper. Straight in towards the B-bomb site. Able to take away Talker. And the bomb will get planted on default. Now it comes down to the retake. It has to be flawless from the CT side. And Some Da Young has taken away Archie. He's taken away his chance to try and show up in this round. Been so impactful for the CT side, but this is looking desperate. Waterfalls coming in, the 2 quietest players on the team, and Waterfalls is falling apart. This is all looking nasty for the CT side as virtus into the 1v4. It's not going to happen. It'll be map point for Team Spirit. They managed to get 1 round away from the series win here, and virtus running his way back through Ivy, and not too much money left in the bank, I'm afraid, here for the CTs. Team Spirit will pull it off. They'll eliminate him as well, and it's map point for Team Spirit, series point for Team Spirit as well. It's either overtime or it's over. We've already had 1 overtime today, maybe actually 2, because we had double overtime. Another pause coming in. They want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Everyone's ready for this. This is definitely the last round of regulation, at least. Might not be the last game of the round of the game, though. They definitely end up being overtime, which would be quite incredible between these two teams. Money's not excellent here on the CT side, but it's not bad. They haven't got an AWP in the hands of Archie. They've got an AUG in the hands of Talker. And they've got Kevlar being purchased on Airscape. I'm assuming he'll have something else to work with. Waterfalls on a mere CZ. It's not amazing. It's not great at all. But it's definitely something. So they are ready to go into this. virtus hasn't purchased just yet, but eventually will. And the unpause is in. Final round of regulation. Will it be overtime? Will it be Team Spirit finally taking the series that they should have won on paper, but have had to fight every single round for it? Losing the first map after a big choke. A 12-3 half they had up. And it will be Extremum having to play a little bit differently here, a little bit more aggressive, proactive, get those close angles going on these SMGs and pistols. Team Spirit, they need to be careful. They need to respect this as well. They need to know that maybe Extremum don't have the best of buys, but they're going to invest everything they can. They're going to play loose. They're going to play like they need this, and they definitely do. Taking a scalp like Spirit straight away coming into this tournament. You'll be feeling so confident if you're Extremum moving forward. virtus will start to rattle shots through the smokes. One round away from Team Spirit, just taking this one over the line, but they're playing it slow. They want to make sure everything is ready as they run in towards the A bomb site. It's going to be air skip. Coldy gets the trade right back. Chopper there for another one on the AK, and it's going to be a 4v2. Looking good here for Team Spirit to take this one over the line. It's only virtus and Talker to try and make their way back in. It's going to be the headshot from virtus as well as he pulls out the AWP, but it's a 1v2. They get a 1 versus 1 as he looks back in towards green train. Coldy's here on the green train. This could be overtime, as virtus just goes towards stop sign, and so unfortunate. Coldy does pick it up. It's a 16-14 win for Team Spirit, and that will be it. The conclusion of this blockbuster of a best of 3 that went the distance on 3 maps. A double overtime affair on the first Vertigo, with Team Spirit choking a 12-3 lead to move on to Mirage, where Team Spirit end up winning it 16-10. They come on to train, and they barely edge it out here, 16-14. It came down to 1 versus 1. It has been an excellent series, but we are not done yet. We have got another best of 3 coming up next here at the CIS Minor Qualifier. It's going to be the Gambit youngsters. I'm looking forward to seeing them in action. Join me after the break, and we'll go into that best of 3.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.